So, you want to play Yasuo in D&D? Is it viable? Should you even play a character that's based off a character from a video game? I'm here to answer all of those questions except the last one. That's up to you to decide. First off, is it viable? Well, no. If you're trying to min-max or move on because we will be playing a ranger. So, you know, yeah, ranger. And is it possible? Well, continue watching the video and you'll see. First off, I want to get this out of the way. This is 5th edition of D&D, and we won't be using any homebrew content, official stuff only. Now that that's out of the way, let's decide what makes Yasuo, well, Yasuo. You want to have high mobility and powerful melee attacks, ideally. We want to avoid opportunity attacks as well. Moving on to his abilities, we have his passive, Way of the Wanderer. This gives Yasuo a shield that he builds up by moving around. Next, we have Steel Tempest, where Yasuo thrusts his sword, and after 2 strikes, he is able to stack up a tornado that he can then throw at the enemy. Next, we have Sweeping Blade. Yasuo dashes through an enemy, dealing a small amount of damage. Third, we have Wind Wall, which simply just blocks projectiles. And finally, we have Last Breath. Yasuo leaps to a knocked up target and slices them with his sword. We will be trying to fill a spot for each of these abilities if possible. Some won't be perfect, but with D&D, you have a few good options to make these seem close enough, and I hope that you guys will agree with that. I will be using the basic array for this. I recommend you pick a human because Yasuo, of course, is a human. I'm going to take a variant human. If your DM does not allow that or you just don't find that interesting, you can just go the normal human. But the reason I want to go variant human is because I want to choose the mobile feat. Again, filling the fast gameplay that Yasuo offers. You get the extra 10 feet movement speed, which is always nice. And you get the ability to ignore opportunity attacks for anyone that you roll an attack onto. It doesn't even have to hit, you just have to roll the attack. It's pretty nice. For stats, we're going to prioritize Dex, Wisdom, and then Con. Those last two can be swapped back and forth. I don't think Wisdom really needs to be that high, it's up to you guys. Next, we have Charisma. I recommend you guys make this your 4th priority, because we're going to be putting a few points in a Sorcerer, 3 specifically. So, it'd be nice, but it's not a necessity, because we're not really going for the spellcasting, so you can also do intelligence if you would like a wizard. That's an option, or for just role-playing options, because Yasuo is a fairly charismatic character. I thought he was very charismatic in the Talia story, and I think he's relatively intelligent. So that's up for you guys. Finally, strength will be our dump stat because, well, we need a dump stat, and strength kind of just works perfectly. Moving on to your class, Ranger just fits perfect. Be aware though, this will be a melee focused ranger, so if that is something you're not interested in, I'm sorry, this is just the best option I could find. So for your first 5 levels, you'll be putting them all into ranger. At level 1, you get your favored enemy and natural explorer. This is not super important, but I recommend humanoid/bandits. I can't remember the specifics, but I recommend that just because for war-wise, Yasuo, he's known for mostly just fighting humans. That's the only reason. And for your natural explorer, I recommend forest or grasslands. It fits well for Ionia, which is where Yasuo is from, and it also fits well for Summoner's Rift, which fits in the forest or grasslands, in my opinion. For level 2, this is where you get your spells. Most importantly, you get Zephyr Strike. First off, you get an extra 30 feet movement speed. And you ignore opportunity attacks. You also get advantage on an attack roll and deal an extra 1d8 of force damage. I like to think of the extra damage being your EQ combo, where you do the little cyclone attack. And the extra movement speed is the dash itself, almost, because really, in reality, he's just dashing quickly, and so that's, self-explanatory. For level 3, this is where you will be choosing your Ranger archetype. You'll want to take Hunter Conclave. Hunter's Prey gives you a choice between 3 features. I think all 3 are good and work well for Yasuo thematically. I personally think Horde Breaker works the best, and Colossus Slayer is probably better for overall damage output. For level 4, you get an ability score increase. I recommend Dex. Put +2 into Dex and call it a day. At level 5, you get your extra attack, which works perfectly for Yasuo because you build attack speed on Yasuo in League of Legends. So, of course, you're going to want an extra attack. You're just swinging twice, basically. Moving on to level 6, 7, and 8. This is where I'm going to take 3 levels in Sorcerer. You don't have to, but I want to get everything when related I can, and I'll be going Storm Sorcerer because of it. It fits best, and plus the level 1 feat could be used to act as Yasuo's ultimate, because you get a little bit of, you basically go up to 10 feet in the air whenever you cast a spell. and you can go up in the air as a bonus action. So, it's just a nice option. This is not necessary, but just a good option. The main reason I recommend sorcerer is for meta magic, specifically quicken spell. For the ability to make a spell a bonus action, this works well for gust and other spells. Speaking of gust, I'll share the cantrips you should take, or the cantrips that I recommend. I recommend that you take gust, of course, and this will act as the second half of Yasuo's Q. It's not perfect, but it works. The tornado part of Yasuo's Q. Secondly, the only other one I could really think that works well is Shocking Grasp, because you could use this as this is like Static Shiv going off. It's like a Static Shiv proc. It's not amazing, but it has its opportunities where it could help you guys out. And it's a good cantrip, and I think it works with if you go by Static Shiv. It's a bit of a stretch. I'll let you guys decide on what you do with your cantrips. And the main reason we're going to 3 levels in a sorcerer or wizard, besides the meta magic, is so you can grab Warding Wind, which I think works well for Yasuo's passive. It doesn't fit perfect, but it's using wind defensively, so I think it's similar, and it's still in theme for Yasuo. Again, it's not perfect, but it's probably one of the better options you have. For level 9 through 20, we will now be taking the rest of our levels into Ranger, so get ready for a lot of Ranger. At level 7, you get Defensive Tactics from your Hunter archetype. I think multi-attack defense is another great option for Yasuo's passive, though taking Escape the Horde is a good option as well. At level 8 in Ranger, you get an ability score increase. Bump that dex up. At level 11 in Ranger, you get another feature from your Ranger archetype. Whirlwind Attack is perfect for your EQ ability, and stays in theme for Yasuo. At level 12 in Ranger, you get another ability score increase. Wisdom or Con, it's up to you. Personally, I would probably be increasing my wisdom at this point, but Constitution is a great option if you want to be a little bit more healthy. At level 15, you get your final Ranger archetype feature. I recommend Uncanny Dodge, but Evasion is good as well. At level 16 in Ranger, you get your final ability score increase. Again, Wisdom or Constitution, it's up to you. Finally, at level 17 in Ranger, which will be your overall level 20 if you went for those 3 levels in Sorcerer. This is where you get your 5th level spell. The main reason we went for this is for the spell Steel Wind Strike. It's a fun ability, and I think it works perfect for Yasuo's R ability, aka his ultimate. It's not a great... I shouldn't say perfect, but I think it's perfect as in the sense that it's the closest you'll get for what Yasuo's ult does. It's a bit of a stretch, but it's the best we can get in the world of D&D, so bear with me. Thematically for Yasuo, I would read up on the lore, but he's a bit of a downer. He has a dark past. I'm not going to get into his lore, but yeah, so for roleplay purposes, what I recommend is I would recommend the alignment neutral good, probably. I would say he's not lawful, and I definitely don't think he's chaotic. I would say neutral good is probably the best alignment for him. I hope you guys enjoyed playing this build as much as I enjoyed making it. If you would enjoy more content like this, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me who you would like to see next. Preferably, I'd like to stick to League of Legends Champions or maybe anime characters, only stuff that I really enjoy. I have a pretty decent idea of what I could do for Lux, and I apologize, I won't be able to do the very difficult champions like Cho'Gath or Malphite. Those are going to be relatively difficult for me to pull off, so I do apologize about that. So really, humanoids are really the best you guys are going to be able to pull off unless we get into homebrew territory, which kind of ruins the whole purpose of this. Also, make sure to check out my friend Michael. His channel name is Malinger, and it's in the description below. He's actually the one who gave me this idea, and he's going to be posting the same type of video structures, but for Ruby characters. If you know what Ruby is, and if you'll enjoy the videos, so, give him a chance, please, if you wouldn't mind. He's a pretty funny guy. If you don't know what Ruby is, it's a kind of anime thing made by Rooster Teeth. It's pretty good. It got pretty bad at the last season, in my opinion, but last 2 seasons. Not relevant. Check it out if you want to. You don't really have to at this point. And finally, I am aware that my friend Malinger got this idea from a YouTuber named Tulok the Barbrarian. Link below. His videos are very high quality, and he does videos like this for superheroes. If that sounds interesting, check it out. I don't know him personally, but I've watched a few of his videos. I know they're very high quality, and I think you guys would really enjoy them. But he doesn't do anything League of Legends related. He does Marvel characters and DC characters mostly. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like maybe a more in-depth take on this, I can go for that. But yeah, this is basically just the rough draft to set you guys up, and you guys, it's D&D. Fill in the rest for yourselves and enjoy it. Again, if you guys want any other champions or any other characters from anime, leave it in the comments below. And really, thank you guys for watching. I would love to be able to make more of these videos. This is a lot of fun, and I would love to express my enjoyment in the game. Mostly D&D, but, League is fun too, I guess. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.